Bottoms Down, Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm glad you've joined our community. Check out the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage for easy access to videos about the body area you want to work on, or the amount of time you have for your yoga practice today, or if you want to stay seated or stand more. And if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget, it is free and we'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. In today's practice, we'll explore poses for a healthy life to boost your strength and your balance and your mental well-being. So you'll need a chair and a yoga block for today's class. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, you can substitute a big book, or you can just do the class without it. So let's get started. So we're going to move forward in our chair, so we're not leaning back, and we're going to sit up nice and tall. So feel your abdominals engage, crown of the head to the ceiling. Your hands are just going to rest lightly on your thighs. And if it feels okay, you're going to flip those palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to connect our feet to the earth. We call that grounding. So feel like you've got both feet equally weighted and connected to that ground or that floor. And then also the sits bones. So we sit on these pointy bones and we want to make sure that they're on the chair and equally weighted. So we're going to close our eyes, or if you don't want to do that, you can just soften them. And then we're going to connect to our breath. Remembering that the Sanskrit word yoga refers to that connection of the breath and the body and the mind. So we're just going to take a moment here, feeling that natural breath. And let's elongate the breath. So we're going to inhale a little more deeply and exhale a little more completely. So let's do that a couple more times. And then just breathe your natural breath. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice, focusing on what you want to accomplish. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. We're going to drop our hands down by our side, and then we're going to shrug our shoulders up into the ears. And then I want you to just let them fall. So we're kind of letting gravity help here. Let's shrug those shoulders up into those ears. Feel that? And then drop them. And we're going to do that one more time. Shrug them up. And then just drop. That should feel really, really good. Okay, so now I'm going to drop my right ear towards my right shoulder. So feel the natural range of motion here first. Then I'm going to take my right hand and I'm just going to lay it on top of the head. Don't pull or tug. Just let the weight of the hand give the neck a little more stretch. And then I'm going to extend that other arm out towards the wall beside me. So a little neck stretch here. Just one more breath. Now let's bring the hand down first. Let's take the hand off of the head next and then lift that head up. I want to do another shoulder shrug. What do you think? Let's bring those hands down and let's shrug that shoulder up. And then down we go. And let's do it again. Shrug those shoulders up and then just let them drop. Excellent. Okay, let's do the other side now. So we're going to drop the ear towards the shoulder first. So we just hang out here for a few breaths, feeling that natural range of motion, right? Then we're going to take our hand and we're just going to lay it lightly on the head. Don't pull or tug. It's just giving that head a little more weight to give a little extra stretch for that neck. And then we're going to extend the arm out. Oh yeah. I don't know about you, but I really like this stretch. I feel it. Okay, one more breath here. So let's start by bringing the right hand down, then taking the hand off of the head, and then, if you need to help it, you can. Lift that head. All right, very, very good. So we're going to move into cat and cow poses. And we'll start with cow pose. And we're going to bring our arms back behind us and we're going to grab the back of the chair, okay? So pretty low down, so don't try to grab it way up high, pretty low down. And then I want you to pull your shoulders. So I'm lifting up through my heart and I'm going to pull my shoulders back behind me. So I'm kind of squeezing those shoulder blades back. All right? Now, if it feels okay, I want you to lift your heart. So I'm lifting my chin just a little bit. So I'm opening up through the throat. And then this is my cow pose. And then I'm going to round down into cat. So I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to put them on my thighs. Elbows are going to stay wide. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Let that tailbone go kind of heavy. Right? Round the upper back. Tuck the chin. Look down at your belly button. Feel a nice stretch through the upper back and the back of that neck. And we're going to do that again. Let's lift up into our cow pose. Grab the back of that chair. Pull those shoulders down and back. Lift up. Maybe look up just a smidge. Let's add the breath. We'll inhale into cow. And then we're going to exhale into cat. And remember, if you don't like doing the breath, just breathe naturally. Just don't hold your breath. Let's do that again. Inhale up into cow. Exhale down into cat. And we're going to do it one final time. Inhale up into cow. And exhale down into cat. And release that. And grab a sip of water. So we're going to move forward in our chair. We're going to do a heel, toe, and a heel, toe. So we've got our feet wide, okay? Now, we're going to take our forearms and we're going to let them rest on our forearms are going to rest on our thighs and our palms are facing up. So this is a great version of a supported forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. If you'll keep your back flat, okay, and look out instead of down, you're going to really optimize the stretch into the back. Okay, so feeling that stretch. We have one more breath, and then we're going to roll up and just take a moment here. Okay, so if you want to bring your knees in to take a break, that's fine. So the next add-on here is if you have your block, if you don't have your block, you're going to walk your hands down your legs. Okay, you'll have your legs for support. If you have your block, you're going to place your block right between your legs. Okay? All right, so inhale, extend nice and long through the spine. Exhale, let your heart come forward. Place your hands on that block. Keep that back flat. Look out, not down. Okay? So again, feeling the stretch here through the back. We have one more breath, and then we're going to roll it up. Okay? And then we're going to move that block down to, it was in that tallest position. We're going to move it down to a position. All right, inhale, extend. Exhale, down we go. Place your hands on the block. Feeling a little more stretch, are you? I am, right? Up a little bit in the back, my legs. I'm feeling a little more in my hips. Okay, let's all roll it up nice and slow. Take your time. So feeling okay? Remember, you're using your legs if you don't have your block. Let's go ahead and put that block in the flat position. Nice long spine, inhale. Exhale, down we go. Place the hands on the blocks. Let that heart fall forward. Looking out, not down. And roll it up. Okay. How do you feel about not having the hands on the block at all? We're going to just set that block aside. Remember, you don't have to add on, right? You can keep doing any of those versions. Nice long spine. We're going to let our heart fall forward. We're going to place our hands on the floor. Okay. Now I want you to feel like you're stable on that chair. So make sure that you don't feel like you're going to fall off the chair. Because now we're going to let our head fall a little bit more, looking under the bottom of our chair. And then we're going to move into ragdoll. Okay, so let's hang out here for just a moment and then go ahead and roll up, because what I want to do is I want to show you what ragdoll looks like before we get down into it. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I always get my nose itches when the hair gets in my face. So we'll be down just like we were, and then we're going to let go of the floor and we're going to grab our elbows. And so you can peek at me real quick. We'll be right here, right? So full ragdoll. It feels good for the back. If that feels okay. Otherwise, you're still holding onto your legs. Okay, are we ready? Nice long spine. Inhale. Exhale, down we go. The hands come to the floor, all right? So now, if it feels okay, you're going to let your head fall. You're looking under your chair. And then we're going to release our hands and we're going to grab our elbows in a ragdoll. So there's, you should be feeling the back really stretching here. Let's nod our head yes. Shake our head no. Nod our head yes. Drop the hands down to the floor. Go ahead and roll up into a seated position and release it. So sometimes when we put our head down low like that, I'm heel toeing my feet back together, it can make us dizzy. So we just want to take it really slowly as we come up, or leave it out and just keep your head long, right? So you don't ever have to let the head fall. You can just keep that back flat. Okay, so now we're going to do shoulder dips. So this feels really good. So again, we're going to heel toe our feet a little bit wide, just like we did with that last one. Our hands now are going to rest on our thighs, okay? We're going to let this shoulder fall straight down between our legs. Should feel good. And then up we go. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So little arm stretch here. And shoulder. Up we go. Let's do that again. I feel the top of my arm and my shoulder. That's what I'm feeling. And lift it up, and let's do that one more time. And okay, very good. Let's just heel toe our feet back together. Now, the next thing we're going to be working our shoulders and our legs. So if you've got shoulder issues, we're going to start with a half shoulder press, and that's going to be where you're going to stay. And that's fine. You don't ever have to do the full shoulder press. So we're going to start with just a shoulder press, so the elbows kind of in towards the waist, a light fist with that hand, and we're just going to lift and lower. Same side, lift and lower. Now we're going to lift that same heel, lift and lower. And let's do that again. Lift and lower. One more time. Lift and lower. Okay. Now we're going to start with the other side, just the arm first, all right? Light fist, elbow is in. It's a lift and a lower, okay? So as we lift, we're not going that high, right? It's a half. So this bottom part of that arm should be parallel with the leg and down. Let's do that again. Lift and lower. Now let's add the heel. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Again, lift, lower. One more time. Lift and lower. Okay, excellent. You can keep doing that version, is fine. But if you're with me, we're going to do a full shoulder press, and then we're going to lift a knee. So let's start with just the shoulder press. So it's a press all the way to the ceiling, and then bring that arm down, okay? So full range of motion for that joint, that shoulder joint, and down we go. Okay, we ready? Let's lift the knee. Lift that knee up and down. Same side. Keep going. Lift and lower. Belly stays tight. Don't lean back. Lift, lower. One more time. Lift, lower. We're going to do the other side. Okay, are we ready? Let's just do the arm first. See how that feels. Lift and lower. Again. Lift and lower. Lift. Now let's add that knee lift. Are we ready? Here we go. Lift and lower. Again. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. One more time. Lift and lower. All right. Excellent work. We're going to move into body circles. So our hands are going to be on our thighs, and we're going to lean to the left. Keep both hips on that chair, and then we're going to come forward. And then we're going to lean to the right. And now come back. Make your abdominals work here. All the way back. And let's do that again. Now, if the chair's in your way, you might want to move a little further forward in your chair so that you can do that lean back part. Forward we go. To the side. All right, belly's working here. Let's do it again. To the side. Forward. Side. Now, come back and stop. Okay, and then we're going to reverse it. So let's go to the right. Forward. Left. And back. And do that again. All right, now let's come up to seated and we're going to add on. So what we're going to add is a little bit of arm work. So our arms are going to be here. So as we come out to the side, we're going to stir. You see what I'm doing there? It's just kind of stirring the pot. All right. Can we make that stir even bigger? Only if you want to. Now we're stirring a big pot, right? We're going the same direction. Let's do the big old cauldron. Boy, my nose is itching. Out, 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 out. Okay, now we're going to start big the other direction. Start with that big circle, big, big, big. Working it, right? And back we go. So you feel your back. You feel your side waist muscles. With those arms extended, you feel it more. And back. One more. All right, let's start making it a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. And release. Excellent work. Very, very good. So we're going to do a boat series, and it's different. This is just rowing the boat. So if you've been with me before, we've done a few different ways of a boat pose. So this particular series is just rowing. So we're going to take our paddle, our oar, and we're going to row to one side, and then we're going to come up and we're going to row to the other side and up. So you should feel your side waist is really working here. Up we go. Right at the ribs. Do you feel that? Belly stays tight. Protect that back. Row and row. Okay, so let's come center. And that's our beginning position. And it's great. That one is really good. You should be feeling a lot of work right through the core, right? So the core is abdominals, it's obliques, and it's the back. So all of this area was working. Now, if you want a little bit more, you notice I'm moving a little forward in my chair. So we're going to lift the same leg of the leg that we're rowing on. All right, so we're rowing here. We're lifting that same leg. And then put that leg down, and then we're going to row the other side. Lift and down. Keep going. Row, lift, and down. Row, and down. One more. Okay. So the final add-on to this, if you so desire, is we're going to lift both legs at the same time. So we're going to row both arms and both legs. All right, so here we go. Give it a try. We're moving forward. So inhale here. Ready? Row. And down. And row. And down. Lift those legs up and row those arms. Lift those legs up and row those arms. Let's do two more. One more. Take a break. And then we're going to row our arms the other way. Ready? Here we go. Up and down. Keep going. Up and down. Make your abs work. Up and down. Two more. Up and down. Last time. Up and down. How'd you do on that one? I know, that's so challenging. Very, very, very good. All right, so we're going to move into a warrior two with a side angle pose, and we're going to use our block. So let's take our right leg and we're going to open it nice and wide, and then we're just going to place our block right here on the outside of that foot. Again, if you don't have the block, don't worry about it. You will be able to just use your leg. Okay, let's extend those arms out. Warrior two arms. So in your warrior two, you want to make sure your head and your spine are in alignment, okay? So in my classes, my in-person classes, I'll often see people forward like this. So I want you to bring those ribs back. Make sure your arms are parallel to the mat, right? Shoulders are down. We're going to look over those right fingertips. We're going to flip that right palm to the ceiling and reverse our warrior. So take that hand up towards the ceiling. Now your other hand is coming back to the chair, okay? So lift that right hand up to the ceiling and then reverse, come past the midline of that body. You should feel that side waist working pretty hard. Now come back to that warrior two. So now we're going to take our hand and we're going to flip that right palm up and put the forearm on the thigh. And we're going to lift up into that side angle pose. One more breath here. Press back up into that warrior two. One more breath. Bring your hands down and take just a break. I tell you what, let's do the other side. I know I said the block. We're going to do that in a minute. That's another add-on. So let's leave the block where it is. Let's take this other leg, heel toe it out all the way to that diagonal, or not a diagonal, excuse me, it's out at like 90 degrees. Okay, so now we're going to bring those arms up. So do you see how I'm kind of rotating at the ribs? So I'm rotating around to face forward. Arms are out. My inner thigh is stretching here. Shoulders are down out of the ears. Warrior two pose. Let's flip that left palm up to the ceiling and we're going to reverse our warrior. So try to touch the ceiling first, really go up, then cross the midline of the body as we reverse our warrior, and we're going to come back to that warrior two. Shoulders are down, belly is tight, and then we're going to take that left arm and we're going to place it on the thigh, palm facing up for side angle pose. One more breath here and release, and let's bring that leg in. Okay. So now we're going to do it with the block, and we're going to do one little extension of this leg. So let's take our right leg and let's open it back up, and we've got that block there. Now this time, instead of having this leg here, which is fine, if you want to keep this left leg right where it is, that's okay. Or we're going to extend it out. Okay, so if that feels okay for you, give it a try. If you're like, yeah, that's not going to work for me, then you're going to be right here, and that's fine, okay? So I'm going to move a little bit further forward in my chair, and I'm going to extend that leg out. So I'm up on the side of that foot, working the outer part of that leg, okay? Ribs are going to be right in the center, and I'm going to bring my arms up. Does that feel okay? Shoulders are down, heart is lifted, abdominals engaged. Let's look over those right fingertips. Flip the right palm to the ceiling, reverse your warrior up and back. Now we're going to come back to warrior two. Now our side angle, instead of the forearm coming to the thigh like we did previously, I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to put it on my block and lift open. Maybe look up if that feels okay. You don't have to. One more breath here. Pull that belly in. Come back to your warrior two. There's your power move. Let's reverse it one more time, up and back. And we're going to come back to warrior two, and we're going to release. Okay, let's grab the block. Last time. We've got this. Okay? So remember, we're going to start by bringing that leg out to that 90 degrees, so it's pointing towards that wall beside us. And then your right leg is either going to face me, which is fine, or it's going to extend out. Either is really fine. Truly, truly is. Let's get that block in position. Are we ready? Is your heart lifted? Do you have your head, neck, and spine in alignment? Do you feel that leg stretching? I do. Let's bring those arms up. Warrior two. Look over your left fingertips. Shoulders are down, belly tight. Flip your palm to the ceiling. Reverse your warrior up, 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 and then come past the midline of that body. Back to your warrior two. Now either your forearm is going to come to the thigh or your hand's going to come to the block. Side angle pose. Look up if that feels okay on your neck. One more breath here. Press back up into that warrior two. And release. Oh yeah, very, very good. Okay, let's grab a sip of water. into standing on the right side of our chair. And we're going to be facing our chair. Your feet are about hip distance apart. So we're going to be doing a forward fold series. Now, I'm going to hinge right at the hips very slowly, and I'm going to place my hands in the seat of the chair. Now, if that's, a little much, you can have your block here and you can have your hands on that block, okay? So that's fine. So whatever feels good for you, we're going to try to let that heart fall forward. So for right now, let's not worry about tucking our chin and letting our head fall. Let's go ahead and keep our head above our heart. So we're just, as we come down, we're just keeping the back flat and really feeling a good stretch into the backs of the legs, okay? We have one more breath here. Now, feel free to bend those knees and roll up into a standing position, okay? All right, so that one is a really, really good version. If you want a little bit more, we're going to be using our block. So we're going to step away a little bit from the chair, and I'm going to place my block between my feet. And I'm going to have it on that number 3 position, right? So that tallest position. So we're going to do the same thing. Just hinging right here at the hips. We're going to come forward. And we're going to place our hands on the block now. And again, let's just keep our heart lifted for right now. We'll come into a version here in a minute where we kind of let the head fall. But for right now, let's just keep our head above our heart and just letting the heart fall forward for a good stretch into the back of those legs. Let's bend the knees and we'll roll up again. Okay, so hold that chair. All right, is that feeling all right? We're going to do that now with the block on that next lower position. So we're just kind of building into this one. So we're going to hinge forward again. Remember, your hands can be on that chair if that's feeling better for you. If you don't have the block, you're just going to have your hands resting on your legs, okay? And you're just kind of walking your hands down your legs. So we're feeling the stretch. I don't know about you. I'm certainly feeling it in my hamstrings, but I'm even getting a little bit into my back now. So from here, if it feels okay, we're just simply going to move that block down that last position. Now, go ahead and see if it feels okay. Let your head fall. I'm looking now between my legs behind me. We're going to release the block and we're going to grab our elbows. So, hanging out here for just a moment, feeling the stretch. Now, bend your knees pretty generously and see if we can transfer the stretch from the hamstrings to the back, okay? So now, I've got my knees bent. I'm still bent over my legs. I've got my elbows, and I'm in ragdoll. Let's nod our head yes. Shake our head no. Nod our head yes. Drop your hands back to the block. Bend the knees pretty generously. Hold on to your chair as you roll up into a standing position. So you might be a little bit with that head down below your heart. You might be a little dizzy, so just hang on to that block. Hang on to the block. Hang on to the chair for just a moment. Okay. All right. Really, really good. Now, we're going to do something, it's straddle forward fold, so it's similar, but we're going to have our feet a little bit wide, okay? So we're facing our chair. We're going to do a heel toe and a heel toe, okay? You know what? And let's do a heel. So my toes are pointing out. So this is going to get a little bit more into the side of those legs. Does that make sense? Did that make any sense at all? So my feet are wide. My toes are pointing this way. Instead of at a diagonal, all 10 toes are pointing forward. Okay, so now I'm going to hinge forward again, and I'm going to place my hands in the seat of the chair. Bend your elbows a little bit if you wish. Keep the back flat, so I'm still keeping my head above my heart. All right, so I'm going to bend one knee, and I'm going to revolve the opposite direction. So I'm revolving, opening up. And then I'm going to come down, place my hands in that chair, and then I'm going to bend the other knee and revolve the other way. So the inner thigh is really working here, and down we go. And let's do that one more time. So bending that opposite knee as I revolve my straddle forward fold, and come down, and we're going to do that again on the other side. Down we go. Let's straighten the legs and heel toe in. Okay, did that feel okay? So we're going to do that one more time. And then if you want to have a little bit more, instead of your hands in the seat of the chair, you can have your hands on the block. So again, I want you to do what feels good for you, right? So let's heel, toe, heel, hinge forward. Maybe the hands are resting on the block. Maybe the hands are resting in the chair. Maybe the hands are resting on your legs, right? Okay, we're going to bend this opposite knee as we revolve the other direction, okay? So the opposite knee of the direction you're revolving. It doesn't matter which. And then down we go. And then revolve the knee, bend the knee and open up the other way. And down we go. Let's do that again. Open. And down. Last time, last side. Open. And down. Go ahead and hold your chair, lift up, and heel toe those feet in together. Okay. Very, very good. So let's just set our block in our chair if you have it, and then we'll come back to it in just a moment. So we're going to work into dancer pose. And dancer pose is a balance pose, but I'm going to give you lots and lots of options, okay? So don't panic here with thinking, oh my goodness, here I've got balance. So I would step back just a little bit so that the seat of that, or the back of that chair, you've got your hand just resting on the back of that chair. Now, you're going to take the leg next to the chair. I tell you what, let's just start with the arms. We're not even going to add the legs yet. Let's just do the arms first. We're going to take this hand and we're just going to lift it up. My feet are on the floor. And then we're going to bring that hand down. And then we're going to do that again. So all I'm doing is I'm lifting that arm up. Okay? Palm is facing in. If you can look up at it, that's fine. Don't feel like you have to. And down. Okay. Now, the first add-on is that same leg. We're just going to take a step forward and we're going to lift that arm up. And down we go. Let's do that again. Step it forward. And back we go. We're going to do that one more time. Step it forward. And up we go. Okay. Now, if you have your block, you're going to set that block down. And instead of stepping forward, we're going to place our toes on that block. And then we're going to lift. Okay? And down. And then we're going to do that again. So just see how that feels. And down. Okay. Now, if you want the final version of this pose, I'm going to set my block aside. I'm going to hold on to my chair. Now, I'm switching legs. Okay? So I know it's a little funky. But I'm switching legs. And I'm going to slide. I'm going to bring that knee up into a tabletop position. Okay? I'm going to slide my arm down the thigh, across the knee, along the shin. I'm going to grab my ankle and I'm going to bring that knee down. So notice how my knees are even with one another. Then if you want to, you're going to let go of the chair and you're going to lift your arm up. There's a beautiful version of dancer pose. One more breath. Down we go and release. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, so remember the first thing we do, we want to be back so that kind of the back of that chair is right here and even with us. And we're going to take just the arm and we're going to lift it up. So it's the arm next to the chair and we're going to bring it down. And let's do that again. We're just going to lift that arm up and we're going to bring it down. Okay, let's add that step. So this is the leg. We're going to just step it forward. We're up on those back toes. And step it back. Let's do that again. Step it forward. Lift that arm up. and step it back. Let's do one more like that. Up and back. Okay, now if you've got your block, if you want to set that block down, you're going to place those toes on that block. So now we're less stable, right? And we're going to lift that arm up. Pull your belly in, right? Let's do that again. Lift that arm up. And down. Can we do that one more time? Lift that arm up. And down. Okay. And then if you want the final version, I know we switch legs now. Hold that chair to start with. You're going to bring that knee up to that tabletop position. Your hand is going to slide along the thigh, over the knee, down the shin. Grab your ankle. Drop that knee down so both knees are even with one another. Pull that belly in as tight as you can. Let go of the chair and extend that arm out. One more breath. Grab that chair and down we go. Very good dancer poses, everybody. Okay, so we're going to come to the other side of our chair. And we're going to be doing a heel, toe, heel, toe. So we're going to move into our goddess legs, okay? So we're going to bend our knees, shoot your hips back, hold on to that chair. All right, so here we are. This is horse pose. We've got our goddess legs here. We're going to clasp our hands behind our back and push those knuckles down towards the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. And then we're going to lift those hands up behind us as we lean forward. So my hands are coming up behind me. I've actually got my block in my chair. I didn't plan that, but it kind of feels good to rest my head on my block. One more breath and up we go. Our hands are going to come back down behind you. Release that and heel toe those feet in together. So I don't know if you probably couldn't see what I was doing because you were down in humble horse, but I had my block here, and then it just peeked at me real quick. So as I came down, my head just kind of rested on my block, and it actually felt kind of good. So if you want to do that, you can. If you don't have the block and your head can come down and rest to the seat of the chair, that might be a good option too. But don't force it, right? If that's too much, getting the head down, don't force it. It's not worth it. Okay, but we're going to do it again. So here we go. Heel, toe, heel, toe. So my feet are at a diagonal, okay? So hips, knees, and feet are in alignment. Feet are at a diagonal. So I'm going to bend my knees as I shoot my hips back behind me, okay? Moving into those goddess legs. So notice how my heart stays lifted. Clasp the hands behind your back. Push those knuckles down towards the floor. Open up through that chest. Now I'm going to let my heart fall forward as my hands come up behind me. Maybe my forehead touches the block. Maybe it touches the chair. It doesn't have to touch either. Doesn't matter. We have one more breath here. Now begin to let your hands come back down to the back. Straighten those legs up. Lift your heart up. And release. How did that feel? Heel toe your feet in together. I know that was a challenging one for sure. Okay, so we're going to move into cat and cow behind our chair. Okay, so we are going to have our feet just right here behind the chair, and they are about the distance of the legs of the chair. We're going to bring our arms up and bring your hands back behind your head and open up through those shoulders, okay? So this is a version of cow pose, lifting up through the heart. Now, we're going to roll down, bring your elbows in, and just hold on to the back of that head as you let that head fall. Inhale, we're going to lift our upper body up. Elbows are going to come wide, looking up slightly. Inhale here. Exhale, come down. Your elbows are going to come down towards the floor. You're not pulling on the head though, okay? So you're just letting that head come down, rounding that spine. All right, let's do that again. Lifting up, the shoulders come up. Squeeze those shoulder blades back behind, looking up, and then down we go. Hold and breathe. So you're holding the movement, but you're not holding the breath. Letting that head fall, feeling that stretch. One more breath. Hands to that chair. Go ahead and roll it up. Okay, let's have a seat. And grab a sip of water. So we're going to move a little forward in our chair, and if you have your block, you're going to grab it and place it right between your feet. We're going to lift up through our heart, bring our arms back behind, and squeeze our shoulder blades back behind us. So a wide elbowed cow pose. Now from here we're going to move into child's pose. So the first thing we're going to do is round down, and then you're going to take your hands and you're just going to place them between your legs and just kind of let your upper body fall forward. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit forward, okay? Now let's do that again. So we're going to place our hands back behind our head. Elbows are wide, squeeze those shoulder blades back behind. Keep those feet grounded to the earth. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to move forward, arms on those thighs. Let those hands just fall between your legs, just kind of letting your head fall. And up we go. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, but this time instead of just being here in child's, we're going to go ahead and begin to place our hands on our blocks. I'm going to personally start with my block a little flatter. If you want to start with your block here, or if you want to start with it a little flatter, it's fine, right? So you pick where you want it to be. All right, are we ready? Hands behind the head. Squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you. Remember, feet are grounded. Pull that belly in. Ready? Here we go. As we come into our child's pose, we're going to let our hands fall between our legs. Maybe the hands come to that block. Let the head fall if that feels okay for you. Just kind of letting the upper body hang out here. One more breath, roll it up, and we're going to do that again one more time. Arms up, squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you. Come into that child's pose. So your legs are wide. Your upper body is going to kind of sink down between your legs. Your hands are going to rest on the block, or maybe it's just they're resting on the floor. We have one more breath here, and then we're going to roll it up into a seated position. Okay. All right. Very, very good. So if you have your block, you're going to grab it in your right hand. Okay. So and actually let's do it instead of the bottom, let's do it here on this side. So we're going to bring those arms nice and wide. Now I want you to take your left arm and I want you to bring it all the way across the body and grab that block, and then we're going to open it. And then we're going to bring it across, and we're going to grab the block, and we're going to open it. So make your arm do the movement. Don't bring the block to the arm. Make the arm come across. So our elbows are still bent, and we're going to reach over and grab that block, and we're going to open. And we're going to do that one more time. Elbows are bent. Grab the block, open, and grab the block and open. Now, instead of elbows bent, let's straighten the arms. See how that feels. Come all the way across, grab that block and open. All the way across and grab that block. You feel it? Oh boy, right? Stretch over and grab that block. Bring the arm to the block, not the block to the arm. Bring it all the way across, bring that arm to that block, and then open. Now we're going to go overhead. Up overhead, grab that block, and arms come out. Up we go, grab that block, and arms come out. Again, if you don't have the block, you're just touching hands together. It's okay. Touch and open. One more on each side. Up. Last one, last side. Up. And release. Do you feel your arms, shoulders, right? Let's roll those shoulders a little bit. All right, excellent work. Go ahead and set your block down. We're going to take our right knee and we're going to open it nice and wide, and we're going to let our left knee fall down towards the floor. So we're going to push that foot back. So think about the back of the kneecap goes up towards the ceiling. Now, your left arm, this outside arm, you're going to bring it up and over, and you're going to reach it back towards that back calf. One more breath here. Let's bring that arm up and over. Let's release the knee, and we're going to do that one more time. Back of the kneecap towards the ceiling. Bring that arm up and over. Hand back towards that calf of that extended leg. I'm looking down at it. One more breath. And up we go. All right. Woo. Let's go ahead and face forward. So the same leg is going to extend out in front of you, toes to the ceiling. We're going to lengthen nice and long through the spine. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, we're going to bring those arms out to that extended leg. And then up we go. Inhale, arms extend up to the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to come down. Hands come down to that leg or the foot or whatever. Up we go. A moving pyramid pose. Now, this time as we exhale, we're going to come down and we're going to hold and we're going to breathe. Ha for 3 and 2 and 1. And then we're going to roll it up and release. Let's do the other side. Left knee opens, right knee falls down towards the floor. Push that foot back behind you. Lift your heart. So relax this glute, back of that kneecap lifts up towards the ceiling. Now that outside arm comes up and over, and it's going to come back towards that calf, and I'm going to look down at it. And then I'm going to bring that arm up. Inhale here, exhale, we're going to come down, hand back to that calf, look. And do it one more time. Up we go. Bring that hand down. And release. Oh my goodness. All right, now the right leg extends out, toes to the ceiling. We're going to lengthen nice and long through the spine, and we're going to let that heart fall forward. Oh, I forgot. We're going to do the extended version, aren't we? Tuck the chin and roll it up. All right, ready? Extend those arms up. Inhale. Exhale, down we go. Roll it up. Inhale, hands extend to the ceiling. Exhale, down we go. One more time. Inhale, up we go. And exhale, down we go. And then we're going to hold it for 3 and 2 and 1. And go ahead and roll up to seated. All right. Very well done. Let's go ahead and move back in our chair. You can lean back if you wish. Hands are going to rest lightly on those thighs. Flip those palms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, close the eyes.
Activate your resourcefulness. Some people have access to great and varied resources. Others have a characteristic that can be even more valuable: resourcefulness. No matter what you have or don't have, you can find ways to make better use of it. By employing your resourcefulness and learning from the experience, you strengthen that resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is a child of gratitude. The more appreciative you are for whatever you have, the more ways you can find to make good use of it. Without sufficient resourcefulness, time, resources, and opportunities get wasted. That doesn't do any good. A life of fulfillment is not primarily about what you start with. It's more about what you do with it. How can you make use of what's available to get from where you are to where you desire? Allow gratitude to activate your resourcefulness, and you're well on the way.
Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open the mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. And release. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I am so very grateful for each and every one of you. Click the subscribe button, leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.